ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Namaskar, my dear friends. This is third video on dialogue from Upanishads, third Valli. Hari Om. Stanza number 1. The two who enjoy the fruits of their good works, being seated in the cavity of the seat of the Supreme, the knower of Dharma, call them shadow and light, as also the performers of the fivefold fire and those who have propitiated 3 times the Nachiketa fire. Stanza 2. We are able to understand both the Nachiketa fire, which is the bridge of all sacrifices to cross misery, and also the highest indestructible Dharma, fearless, and the refuge for those who wish to cross the ocean of samsara. Third, know the Atma as the Lord of chariot, the body as the chariot, know intellect as the charioteer, and the mind again as the range. Fourth, they say the senses are the horses and their objects are the roads, and the Atma, the senses and the mind united, the wise call the enjoyer. Fifth stanza. He who has no discrimination and whose mind is always uncontrolled, his senses horses are not controllable like vicious horses of a driver. 6. But he who has understanding and whose mind is always controlled, his senses are under control like good horses of a driver. Stanza number 7. But he who has no discrimination and whose mind is not under control and who is always impure does not reach that goal, but enters into the round of births and deaths. Stanza number 8. But he who has understanding, who has his mind always under control, and who is pure reaches that goal whence he is not born again. Stanza 9. But he who has understanding for the driver and who holds the reins of the mind reaches the end of his journey, and that is the highest place of Vishnu. Stanza 10. Beyond the senses are the rudiments of objects. Beyond these rudiments is the mind. Beyond the mind is the intellect, Mahat. Beyond the intellect is the great self. Stanza number 11. Beyond the great Mahat is the unmanifested Avyaktam. Beyond the Avyaktam is the Purusha. Beyond the Purusha there is nothing. That is the end. That is the highest goal. Stanza 12. This Atma is hidden in all beings and does not shine forth, but it is seen by suitable seers through their sharp and subtle intellect. 13. Let the wise sink his speech into mind, the mind into the intellect, and the intellect into the great Atma, and the great Atma into the peaceful Atma. Stanza number 14. Arise, awake, having reached the great teachers, learn the sharp edge of a razor is difficult to pass over. Thus the wise see the path to the self is hard. Stanza 15. He who has known that which is without and without touch, without form, without decay, without taste, eternal, without smell, without beginning, without end, beyond the Mahat, great and unchanging, is freed from the jaws of death. Stanza number 16. A wise man who hears and repeats the ancient story of Nachiketas told by Yama attains glory in the world of Brahma. Stanza 17. Whoever with devotion recites before an assembly of Brahmins or at the time of Shraddha of forefathers, this high Shraddha of forefathers, this highest secret obtains thereby immortality, obtains immortality. So Valli number 3 is completed. Now fourth Valli, Nachiketa and Yama. Stanza number 1. Yama said, the self-existent Brahma created the senses with outgoing tendencies. Therefore, man beholds the external universe and not the internal self Atma. But some wise man with eyes averted from sensual objects, with his senses turned away, desirous of immortality, sees the Atma within. Stanza number 2. The ignorant follow after external objects of desire and fall into the snare of widespread death. But wise men, knowing the nature of immortality, do not covet the fleeting, unstable things here. Stanza number 3. To the self by which one knows form, taste, smell, sound, touch, and the sexual pleasure, nothing remains unknown. This verily is that Brahma which thou hast asked for. Stanza number 4. The wise, when he knows that by which he perceives all objects in dream or in waking is the great omnipresent Atma, grieves no more. Kathopnishad. Stanza number 5, Valli number 4. He who knows this Atma, honey eater soul, always near and the Lord of the past and the future, henceforward fears no more. This is verily that. Stanza 6. Who beholds him seated within the five elements, him who was born of tapas of Brahma, who was created before the waters, who entered the cave of the heart and dwells there. This is verily that Brahma which thou hast asked for. Stanza number 7. Who is born along with prana in the form of all the devatas, who entering into the heart abides therein, and who has born with the elements. This is indeed that. Stanza number 8. The fire that is concealed within two pieces of wood, as the embryo is hidden in the pregnant woman, fit to be worshipped daily by men who are awake and offer oblations. This is indeed that. Stanza number 9. And that whence the sun rises and whither it sets, on that there all the devas depend, and no one goes beyond. This is indeed that. Stanza number 10. What is even here visible in the world, the same is there invisible in Brahma, and what is there, the same here. He proceeds from death to death, who beholds here difference between Brahma and the world. Stanza number 11. By mind alone could this Brahma be obtained, then there is no difference here at all. He goes from death to death. Who sees any difference here? Stanza number 12. The person Purusha of the size of a thumb resides in the middle of the body as Lord of the past and the future, and henceforward, after knowing him, fears no more. This is indeed that. Stanza number 13. That person of the size of a thumb is like a flame without smoke, Lord of the past and the future. He alone is even today and will be verily tomorrow. This is verily that. Stanza number 14. As water when rained on a mountain ridge runs down the rocks scattered on all sides, so does he who beholds the objects as different run after them only on all sides. Stanza 15. As pure water poured into pure water becomes the same only, so the Atma of the thinker who knows this becomes O Gautama. So, Valli number 4 is completed, and now comes the Valli number 5. Stanza number 1. The city of the unborn Brahma, whose knowledge is permanent, has 11 gates. Adoring him, one does not grieve, and liberated from all bonds of ignorance, he becomes free. This verily is that. Stanza number 2. As a Hamsa son, he dwells in heaven. As Vasu air, he dwells in the sky. As fire, he dwells on the hearth. As guest, he dwells in a house. He dwells in man, in gods, in truth, in ether. He is born in the waters, he is born in the earth, he is born in the sacrifices, he is born on the mountains, he is true and great. Stanza number 3. He, Brahma, sends up the prana and throws the apana downwards. The dwarf seated in the center, all devas adore. Stanza number 4. When this Atma who dwells in the body departs from the body, what remains then? This verily is that. Stanza 5. Not by prana, not by apana does any mortal live, but it is by some other on which to depend that man live. Stanza number 6. Well then, O Gautama, I will explain the mysterious ancient Dharma and what happens to the self after death. Stanza number 7. Some jivas enter the womb in order to have a body, others go into the inorganic matter according to their karma and knowledge. Stanza number 8. This Purusha who building desire after desire is awake when all sleep is called. Certainly the pure is called, Brahma is called, even immortal. Upon him all the worlds are found, no one goes beyond that. This verily is that. Stanza number 9. As the one fire after it has entered the world, though one takes different forms according to whatever it burns, so does the internal Atma of all living beings. Though one takes a form according to whatever he enters and his outside forms. Outside all forms. Stanza number 10. As the 1 year after it has entered the world, though one takes different forms according to whatever it enters, so the internal Atma of all living beings, though one assumes forms according to whatever he enters and is outside all forms. Stanza 11. As the sun, the eye of the whole world is not contaminated by the defects of the eye or of external things, so the one internal Atma of all living beings is not contaminated by the misery of the world being external to it. Stanza number 12. He is one, the ruler, the internal Atma of all living beings, who makes his one form manifold. The wise who behold him within their self, to them belongs eternal bliss, not to others. Stanza number 13. The wise who beholds the self as the eternal among the transient, as conscious among the conscious, who, though one grants the desires of many as dwelling in their own selves, to them belongs eternal bliss, not to others. Stanza number 14. Wise think of that as this, the supreme bliss which cannot be described. How then shall I know that? Does it manifest or does it not manifest? Stanza number 15. The sun does not shine there, nor do the moon and the stars, nor do these lightnings shine, and much less this fire. When he shines, everything shines after him. By his light, all these shine by his light. So, Valli number 5 is completed. Now, Valli number 6 starts. Stanza 1. Yama said, there is that ancient Aswatha tree whose root is upwards and branches are down. That indeed is pure, that is Brahma, and that alone is called immortal. Upon that all the worlds depend, and no one goes beyond that. This is verily that. Stanza number 2. This whole universe evolved from the Brahma, moves in the prana, in the highest Brahma. That Brahma is a great terror, like an uplifted thunderbolt. Those who know this become immortal. Stanza number 3. From fear of Brahma, fire burns, from fear the sun shines, from fear Indra and Vayu, and death the fifth run. Stanza number 4. If here in this life one is able to comprehend him, Brahma, before the death of the body, he will be liberated from the bondage of the world. If one is not able to comprehend him, then he has to take a body again in the world of creation, worlds of creation. Stanza number 5. As in a mirror, so Brahma can be clearly seen here within one's self, as in dreams, so in the world of the forefathers, as in water, so in the world of the Gandharvas, as in light and shade, so in the world of Brahma. Stanza number 6. A wise man, having understood that the senses separately produced are distinct from the Atma, and also their rising and setting, grieves no more. Stanza number 7. Beyond these senses is the mind, higher than the mind is the intellect, higher than the intellect is the great Atma, higher than the Mahat is Avektam, the unmanifested. Stanza number 8. Beyond the victim is Purusha, all-pervading and devoid of linga, indicative sign. He who knows him is the liberated and obtains immortality. Stanza number 9. His form is not to be seen, no one beholds him with the eye. By controlling the mind, by the intellect, and by incessant meditation, he is revealed. Those who know this Brahma become immortal. Stanza 10. When the five organs of knowledge are at rest together with the mind, and when the intellect ceases functioning, becomes calm, that is called the highest state. Stanza number 11. The firm control of the senses they regard as yoga. At the time one gets careful, for yoga comes and goes. Stanza number 12. The self cannot be reached by speech, by mind, or by the eye. How can it be perceived except by him who says he is? Stanza number 13. He should be known to exist and also as he really is. Of these two, to him who knows him to exist, his true nature becomes manifest. Stanza number 14. When all desires that dwell in the heart of one cease, then the mortal becomes immortal and here attains Brahma. Stanza number 15. When all the knots of the heart are severed here on earth, then the mortal becomes immortal. Here ends the teaching. Stanza number 16. There are 101 nerves of the heart, one of them Susmana penetrates the crown of the head, moving upwards by one at the time of death attains immortality. The other nerves are of various courses. Stanza number 17. The Purusha of the size of a thumb, the inner self, is always seated in the heart of all living beings. One should draw him out from one's own body with steadiness as one draws the pith stalk from a reed. One should know him as pure and immortal. Stanza number 18. Nachiketas, then having acquired this knowledge imparted by Yama and also the whole teaching about yoga, attained Brahma, having become free from passion and death. Thus it will be with another also, who thus knows the nature of the Atma. Stanza number 19. May he protect us both, may he enjoy us both, may we acquire strength together, may our knowledge become bright, may we not hate, quarrel. Om, peace, 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 Hari Om. So, dialogue between Yama and Nachiketa from Kathopnishad is completed. So this video is completed. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment and share the video and subscribe the channel. Namaskar, my dear friends. Thanks a lot. Namaskar.